Alabama. Nobody in this world knows more about the Cullman County school system than those of us in the Cullman County school system. So I'm pretty much against anybody outside our area continually handing down mandates. If we decide to go to a longer school year, I think that should be our decision. We know our kids.
Well, Mr. Cullman, you said adamantly no, and then you extended the year by 5 days. It's 180 days.
Sorry about that.
180 days is plenty to educate a child, and especially in Cullman County, Alabama. And so I agree. No. The answer is no. I do not agree with that. You know, we're already under enough constraints to make a earthworm squirm more than it does. So we would have to take a pretty direct stance against that, to say that in Alabama, I would hope from Montgomery that they would stand up against the national folks, the federal folks. With No Child Left Behind in place, we have plenty of constraints. But seriously, 180 days is plenty. That's 5 days beyond what it was a few years ago, which was 175. Recently, we addressed this with Dr. Morton to actually go to 4 days, and he adamantly said no. He said, "You got 180 days to educate those students, and that's what you'll attend." So the group of superintendents I was working with at the time did the math on it, and we'd be going to school on out into July had we gone to a 4-day week. So that's the reason we didn't go to a 4-day week, although we felt like we showed him that we could save money by doing that. But I think extending the school year, extending the school day, adding more testing is the wrong direction, and our teachers are already feel that they have no creativity left to teach with, and we need to make it so that they can be more creative in the classroom.
We're going to move forward to our closing comment sequence, and this was determined by a drawing prior to the beginning of the forum. Mr. Cullman.
Well, it's been a great pleasure sharing with you today. I appreciate this wonderful interest, and I know that you care very much about the kids. I've got 30 years of experience in education as a principal. Actually, my first year was K-12 principal at West Point, and that was a great year. I kind of missed that. But then we we split up the schools. So 8 years of my 30 was as a principal. The rest was as a teacher and as a coach. And you know, even when I was, the teachers that are here at West Point know that even when I was a principal, I loved teaching. And so I taught a class. Even when I was principal, I taught sociology. I have a great love for the Cullman County school system. I know tough times. On Labor Day of 1996, West Point was burned to the ground. And I saw the greatest display of unity that I've ever seen. I saw what happens when people work together. You talk about communication, accountability, and transparency. Those are three huge words in the vision that I have for our schools. When those three things happen, people come together in unbelievable ways. And I witnessed a miracle at West Point. So yeah, I know tough times. And I know what happens when people come together. And we will get through this, but we'll get through it together. We'll suffer the sacrifices, and then the joys, we'll all do it together. So budgeting, I'm certainly not going to compare the budget of a high school with that of the county system. But I was very fortunate as a principal that the finances were good when I became principal at West Point, and I simply maintained. You know, one of the reasons, and I'm not implying this happens in education, but one of the reasons we're having financial problems in the world today is we didn't manage things when things were going good. The people in the business community took advantage sometimes of our good times. The philosophy of finance needs to be the same in good times and difficult times. So I have experienced that. Took over, and this is really minute, but took over 2 football programs that were in the red, and at the end were the best that they'd ever been. That's because my basic philosophy in good times and bad times, and I'm sure Mr. Allen's is too, is that of being conservative. And so there's some tough roads ahead as far as that goes. But my real experience is not those 30 years. My real experience is my heart, the passion that I've got for kids. And like I said, I've had it all my life. It won't die at the end of this race, even though I'm not successful. I've already said that I want to be totally positive. I don't want to compromise what I believe in. I'd rather lose the race than to do that. And if that happens, my passion will continue to burn. And I'll continue to do everything I can to make a difference in the lives of young people. I'm very excited about the opportunity to get to know teachers and administrators on a personal level. I'm excited about getting to know kids on a personal level. I'm excited about the central office coming together. We didn't talk much about communication there, but once a week getting together, letting everyone up there at the Board of Education and know what everyone else is doing. Because part of us being able to reach out into the communities is to know what everybody's doing up there. So all those things are very important, and I'm honored to be considered. I'm honored to have an opponent like Mr. Allen. I hope and pray that when this is over, that I don't like this system, this political stuff. And I'll tell you something else before I sit down. I'm going to do everything I can to get rid of the political influence on this particular position if I get the opportunity. And not that we've had that. I respect Mr. Allen. I'm sorry that he's had to use a lot of his time with so much on his plate as superintendent, and I don't think that's really good for education. But all I can say is, given the opportunity, I will give it everything I've got for 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you again to the Chamber for hosting this event, and I hope that it has been informative for us. If I can answer any questions after we're through here, I'd be glad to do so. I've had 21 consecutive years of experience in education as a principal, as a coach, as a teacher, and as a superintendent. I can only promise you today, as I did 4 years ago, that I have the same determination, the same dedication, and the same desire to hold the office. I will promise you that I work hard every day to support the teachers and employees of Cullman County and be a servant leader to the people of Cullman County and to our students. I simply want to honor God through not only my faith, but through my actions. I think that's important. I think I have the right experience. I think I have the right knowledge, and I'm extremely confident in what I can accomplish. And there is still more to accomplish. I gained the confidence through facing and overcoming the challenges that we've all seen the last 4 years. There's unfinished business. This is an extremely challenging job. But I am committed to the effort because I'm committed to the Cullman County schools and our children. This profession has given much to me, and it's my pleasure to give back. There's nothing more important to a community than the educational system and what we can do for it. I assure you that Cullman County Schools has no greater advocate, and I will fight to make the situation better. The profession of education was somewhat foreign to me. I had parents that did not graduate from high school. I had grandparents that didn't graduate from high school. And I was probably as close to an at-risk student as you could get, and that's difficult for me to admit to you today. But I can never forget my grandmother sitting beside my grandfather's casket and the revere that she had for teachers, for education. A woman that didn't graduate from high school. But everyone that came by and shook her hand or hugged her and gave her some words of comfort that day, without fail, she told every one of them, I want you to go by and meet my grandson, Hank. He's a teacher. She was proud of that. I'm proud of that today, that I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. I'd appreciate your support and vote November 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you to each of you for taking your busy time to come and be with us today, for sharing your thoughts and your ideas with our community. And let me also say thank you to each of you for taking your time to be here. It's very important that we do meet the candidates, that we know how they think, what they feel, and how we presume that they will serve. With your permission, I would like to tell you that we have more of these forums scheduled. October the 18th, the Cullman County Sheriff and the Cullman County Coroner candidates will meet with us here at the Allstate from 11:30 to 1. Also on October the 18th, the Commissioner of Agriculture will meet us at the Agri Center at 6 p.m. Associate Commissioners will be here on October the 21st here at the Allstate from 11:30 to 1. October the 25th will be the State House District 12 candidates here at the Allstate. And October the 26th, State Senate District 4 candidates from 11:30 to 1 here at the Allstate. On behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, for all of our members, and for the Cullman Times, we once again say thank you for being here. It all matters, the time that you spend, so let me encourage you to be at each of these forums because it does matter. And most assuredly, let me ask you to please go out and vote on Tuesday, November the 2nd. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.